Hey everyone, welcome to Catalyst Energies. My name is Dee. Thank you for joining me. I'm so grateful that you're here for this daily astrology report for December 4th, 2020. And the big news today, as I talked about in the daily, is this grand fire trine with the moon in Leo, Mercury in Sagittarius, and Chiron retrograde in Aries at the whole degree that Chiron will station direct the day after the solar eclipse. Okay, so this position is very important because we're going to see some real movement about our wounding, our identification with this victim mentality that Chiron represents, and the potential for healing that Chiron also represents. It's been direct or retrograde, excuse me, for a while now. And so moving direct right after the eclipse, we are going to see some real activation. So this will be the degree that it stations direct. So this trine, this fire trine, fire is about our spiritual will. It's about transformation. It's about action, but it's also about purification. Then the healing that comes from the purification. And if, as you know, we're still in this lunar cycle, okay, that started in Scorpio about the Phoenix rising. So this fire right here, this trine is really about actually sitting in that fire, in that purification process as it's happening, okay? And a trine is very supportive, right? It is equal angles that provide this very supported, strong structure. And so what this represents today is a phenomenal opportunity for transformation, but this will be this moment where we are in the fire. Okay, the sun is in Sagittarius, and wow, we'll talk about this because the Sabian symbol for where the sun is today is all about retribution. So that's also going to be factored into how we are collectively expressing ourselves, right? And that is the Leo archetype. Leo is ruled by the sun. It is the fifth house. It is the full expression of who we are, the blossoming of our personality, and it'll be in a collective sense with the sun. So if you understand your natal chart, then you know where what areas the sun is now in relation to your chart, and you can see what area of your life this may be impacting. So if we back up just a little bit, this is happening much later today on the 4th in the afternoon. So if we back up into the evening and the early morning, this moon was still in Cancer, in oppositions to the Capricorn energy. And this is really just consolidating our personal power to the point where we can know exactly who we are, where we belong, and it gives us the emotional fortitude to face the reality outside of us and what's happening there. Okay, so we don't want to get totally pulled in to our shell to the point where we just ignore and not deal with what's out there, but also you don't want to get pulled into exclusively what's out there, because that breeds a lot of fear and concern and worry, because this Capricorn energy, especially with Pluto and Saturn, it is no joke. And it represents the very institutions that we all base our security on. And it is not stable at all right now. And we're so close to Jupiter and Saturn coming together at that 0 degrees Aquarius. And I'll be talking about that in a different report as well. The big conjunction. Although I personally think the big conjunction was Saturn and Pluto in January 2020. I think that was much more of a big conjunction. But the Saturn and Jupiter coming together in Aquarius like this has also not happened in almost a millennia. So that's pretty important too. Anyway, we'll get to that. The point is that the moon in Cancer in this opposition really gave us this emotional fortitude if we aligned with it and really found this balance point in these oppositions. So now the moon is in Leo. This is about full expression and passion and charisma and joy. And it's very, very ego-centered, right? We're talking about the individual expression. And so with the moon there, we're strong emotional urges to express ourselves individually, okay? Now this moment here with this trine is a very poised moment. It is in the fire. It is being able to find the stillness within that fire that is literally burning us to the ground. Okay. Mercury, 5 degrees Sagittarius, the wise old owl. Okay. poised and wise approach to existence based on a clear perception of unconscious factors and their operations. So being able to see what people don't normally see, and being able to find this stillness within crisis, within tragedy. And this is Mercury, how we think. So our minds are going to allow us to be the wise old owl in that sense. Remember, owls they're hunters, and they also are nocturnal. They are able to see what we normally don't see. So our minds will be able to kind of pierce through what our own consciousness in order to kind of stand and stand poised and be very wise. Okay. And in a trine to the moon, in this degree of Leo, again, Leo is really about the individual ego consciousness expressing itself. But this degree, again, 5 degrees, there's this poised moment, and it represents the rock formations, a very deep canyon, and the rock formations that have been created over time, and how the structuring power of elemental forces are able to make these formations over vast time spans, okay, much longer than an individual's lifetime. And it should really humble us to the work of nature. So again, emotionally and personally, if we can take this moment to be like, whoa, it's not just about us, but if we look at like everything and nature and the planetary cycles and evolution and what they do over massive cycles of time, it kind of puts us in awe at the same time. And then we have Chiron, 5 degrees Aries, a triangle with wings. So we already see this is a triangle right here. Isn't this so appropriate? And then to have the wings, this ability to transcend at this degree, to see the possibility of a new dimension of being, to transcend that dichotomy of victim savior, is so strong right now. This trine, again, like I said, this is about sitting in the fire of purification and seeing it for what it is. And we can transcend out of that situation through our consciousness and through, making sure that we identify what actually is happening. Okay. Now the sun, like I said, in Sagittarius, the degree here, 12 to 13 degrees. So it's already moved by this time to 13 to 14 degrees later today. But before that, earlier today, 13 degrees of Sagittarius is a widow's past brought to light. The karma of past actions will affect the future of the cycle. Okay, the new day may be found loaded and darkened by unfinished business of the past. Retribution is on the menu today. So while we are all collectively expressing ourselves through this process, okay, all of us, there is this opportunity emotionally and in the realm of the mind and within this dichotomy of victim and savior to really find wisdom and poise while we are being burned into ash. And this is the only way the phoenix rises, okay? This is really important to consider. And there's going to be a lot more guidance coming through with this in today's daily. I've already done the reading and it's all prepped to go. And I'm just going to transition right over into Facebook from here in order to do that. So if you want much more of an intuitive read that goes along with this astrology, I welcome you to do that. Everything else you need is in the description box below. If you're interested in a reading, you can find me at catalystenergies.net. Yeah, take care of yourselves today. It's a wild day. It is incredibly potentially healing day. And remember that the phoenix can only rise from the ashes, and the purification process comes from fire. So I love you guys. I'll see you on the next video.